Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's a dog with you. Another edition of Weber This Week. It's Monday, the 12th of November, 2018. I was just telling my guest, Brad Zimmer, it's kind of weird, scary. Thanksgiving a week from Thursday. Where has the year gone to? And then Santa Claus is coming. Today we're talking to Brad about, he is the director of sales at Del Lago, talking about the great accommodations that we can host all kinds of parties, small, medium, large. Going to talk about that, get Jimmy's view on the big SU game coming up Saturday against Notre Dame, and also at the end of the show, sort of a sad note, I'll have a few comments about a loss of a very good friend. Welcome to Weber This Week. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's good to be with you, as always, on a Monday afternoon. Got Brad Zimmer here today, the Director of Sales over at Del Lago, where, as you know, I work part-time. I'm off the next couple of days. That's kind of good for me. It's nice to have Brad come in on his busy schedule to talk about the offerings that we have. Brad, thanks a lot for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
No problem.
Okay.
Listen, Brad, tell a little about yourself. I know you told me before you sat down here at the studios that you live in Syracuse, and about your background. Where were you born, and where you went to school, and how you ended up at Del Lago?
Born and raised in Liverpool, New York.
Oh, that's where my dad used to live.
Yeah. So I make the commute daily, which is not bad.
Sure.
It's about 30 minutes.
I was going to say, yeah. Now, as far as your education, where'd you go to school?
I went to Bishop Ludden for high school.
Okay.
And then I went through OCC for college.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how did you get into this type of work, and how did you end up with Del Lago?
Well, started my career basically with Hilton.
Okay.
I have over 15 years of Hilton experience. And I just love this industry.
Right.
It's nothing, I didn't go to school for this particular industry.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's good because, you, of course, along with your colleague, Jeremy Stevenson, who was supposed to be on today, but he had something come up, couldn't make it. Now, Jeremy is the manager of the sales organization as well as you're the director of it, right?
I'm the director of sales.
Okay.
Jeremy is the corporate sales manager.
Corporate sales manager.
Molly is the catering sales manager.
Okay.
And then Brianna is actually our sales admin.
All right. So tell about our folks. I know that everybody who probably watches my show knows that I've been there since it started last year, working as a consultant with the buses, getting them underway. As Brad knows, we get a lot of bus activity at the casino.
Yes.
And some days we get 12, 15, and we have these bus appreciation days. We used to try to do 36 in one day. Now we do like 18, space them out a little bit. But it's crazy. And we get a lot of seniors coming in, and I used to be the greeter last year and work with Jimmy Wilmot. And relative to setting all those buses up to get approval, because a lot of people still don't remember, we have a New York Gaming Commission, as Brad's certainly aware of, that watches what we do there to make sure we follow and dot all the I's and cross all the T's. So you had to get certain insurances and so forth. That's under control pretty good right now under the auspices and the efforts of the young lady that runs the bus company. And that, of course, she's a fine person. And Heather Cook is the manager of the bus operations, and it's really getting really busy. To her credit, she's done a lot. So, Brad, let's talk about what holidays upon us. Thanksgiving, as I just mentioned, along with Christmas, Santa Claus, and New Year's Eve, New Year's celebrations. So anybody that's watching me today and is planning on a party of 15 to 50 to 100 to 150 to 600 people, talk about what you can do for them. A lot.
Yeah, we can customize our menus to actually suit whatever the customer really wants. We have a variety of different venues.
Right.
And, it's just it's flexible space.
Right.
So, we utilize the Vine, we utilize Portico, we utilize Social. We do have banquet space. Unfortunately, we won't have the tent for the holiday season.
Sure.
But,
weather conditions.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
right. So basically, if somebody wants to have a get-together, whether it be a bachelorette party, a stag party, you name it, obviously they can work with your team, and you guys can work on it and get it all done.
Absolutely.
And the thing we must disclaim, and of course make a comment, I'm sure it's not rocket scientist unless you just came in from Moscow today or come under a rock. Del Lago is a 21-year age scenario for the casino.
That's true.
So if you're going to go and book a party at Del Lago, and you have people, obviously Brad can handle kids or children or young adults or whatever under 21, they can have the festivities, but those people under 21 would not be allowed to go in the casino.
They couldn't go in the casino part, but they could go into the hotel,
Very good.
social,
Right.
and the banquet space.
Okay, so that's important to note. I know a lot of people, to this day, as I work promotions on a part-time basis, you go by and see me there, a lot of people still aren't understanding the 21 age rule. That is not something you and me made up. That's a New York Gaming Commission
Exactly.
regulation, and it's not negotiable. It's 21, and trust me, we will check it out when you come in. So, as I look at, and Jimmy, I'm going to try to find some pictures. I was looking at some of the paraphernalia and some of the paperwork you gave me. Basically, it's beautiful pictures, and it's got some phenomenal, setups that you could do for parties, you've done for parties, and I guess people think that they have to come in there with 200-300 people. That's not the case.
No, that's not the case at
So
all.
you can do a 50 or a 60.
We could do 20 to 200.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's important to know because, as I think about it, you got the spa there. Talk about that. You have also the spa. So if people want to go there and have a party and want to do a spa during the day before the party, that's something your team can work out as well.
Absolutely. We work on with the spa and set up the appointments. It's a gorgeous spa.
Oh, it is,
and
yeah.
Once people get in there, they're in awe.
That's right.
Absolute awe.
So basically, from a price standpoint, you guys would work on an offer to them based on what they want, based on all those needs, and you would try to be as fair as possible, trying to give them a price that it sort of works for them.
Absolutely.
Obviously, if you want a higher price menu, you can give that.
Exactly.
If you want something a lower rate where people have a budget issue, you can also do that.
We'll work with everybody.
That's what I mean.
And we'll do the best to accommodate it.
Sure.
And,
Now, how is the party activity been going? I know we're going up on 2 years of activity at the casino as of February 1st, which won't be that far away. Mm-hmm. It's like a period of, 3 months or 4 months. How has the activity been? You got some pretty good bookings. I know I go by there and I see a lot of business meetings, et cetera, that are being held there.
Yeah, we're getting busier and busier. Our sales team has done a great job. Specifically for our holiday parties, most of our weekends are full. So
Sure.
If you are at least flexible, we can maybe have something midweek to do a party.
What's the maximum you can hold there?
Well, it depends on which venue.
Okay.
So the ballroom could seat about 200 comfortably.
Right.
When we had the 10 up, that was 325 comfortably. Mm-hmm. And then you have the back portion of Portico.
Right.
And that could seat about 100.
So if somebody's watching me today and watching you today, Brad Zimmer's my special guest. He's the director of sales for the parties, and he also oversees and works with the spa people, et cetera, et cetera. If somebody's trying to get with you, how is the best way to contact you?
Well, they can call the main number.
Right.
They can put a lead in through the website, and we'll contact them right away.
Yeah, and by the way, that phone number, the number to get into the Del Lago is 315, I know it by heart, 315-946-1777. I call that number a lot, so I'm familiar with it. So you just call that number and ask that you want to talk to the sales organization for a party opportunity, and they will get you to the right people.
Absolutely. And, our best preference is to actually have people stop in.
That's right.
And see it.
That's perfect.
Seeing
is believing.
Exactly. So we'd be happy to give them a tour. We got a great sales team. And
I think I've seen you take people on tours.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think I saw you walk in with some people today at Portugal. Yeah, checking it out.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat. Well, hey, listen, it's the holiday time. I know there's a lot of restaurants around the area, and there's a lot of opportunities to go places. But I'm telling you, I know me and Brad are sort of partial since he works there full time. I work there part time. It's really a nice place. And again, the 21 age limit. Don't forget about that because you don't want to get disappointed coming in there and expecting that if you got a couple of 16-year-olds are going to go flying through the casino. That's not going to happen. We want to make sure you understand that because we don't want to, have Brad be the bad guy and say you can't go in. Because a lot of people, believe it or not, still don't figure that out yet. It's really amazing.
But, people do come in with their kids.
Sure.
But, they have to stay on the certain side with the hotel and the banquet.
By the way, me and Mary have spent a lot of time eating at the Social. We love it. It's really a nice, quaint restaurant. Holds about 65 or 70, something like that.
Yep.
It's pretty neat, so it's pretty good. So anyways, Brad Zimmer's my special guest today on the Weber Show. But before we take a commercial break, Brad, I want to get my buddy Jimmy on the mic here. Jimmy, You being an SU grad, I've eaten crow because I said that Dino Babers, the coach of SU, was a bum. He had 2 4-8 records back to back. I picked on him. I ate crow last week. Jimmy, you weren't there, but I did admit that if you saw the show, that I was wrong. It's hard for me to admit that I'm wrong, but I was admitting that I was wrong. 8 wins, Jim. You being an SU grad, cannot be any happier about your program. Let me talk a little bit about your feelings about the big one coming up. The odds makers, as you just heard from me, has them a 9.5-point underdog. You say bring it on. Bring it on. Let's go.
Yeah, we've beaten Notre Dame in the past 10 years when we've have been horrible.
Right.
I'm not scared of Notre Dame. As a matter of fact, this is a great opportunity to make all of the Notre Dame nation cry.
You crush them.
Yeah, we'll go down to Yankee Stadium. That's the other thing. We play Notre Dame when they want to play us. We got to go to South Bend, but they won't play in the Dome. We got to go to New York City. And then, with Notre Dame essentially ruined the Big East by only coming in as a partial member.
I remember that stuck in your Crawford.
And so now that they're in the ACC, Syracuse in the ACC, Notre Dame has arranged where they get to play basketball in the ACC, and they get to have these certain football games against ACC opponents, but they won't join the conference. So it's the same thing. And so we got to go down there. I don't care. We'll play them in New York City. I can't wait to beat them. I can't wait to beat those guys. They think they're going to play in the College Bowl Championship Series, but we're going to beat them.
No chance of them coming to the Dome, huh? I don't see it.
When it was first announced that we were going to play a series against Notre Dame, we figured we'd see Notre Dame in the Carrier Dome, but no, they won't come. So we'll beat them in Yankee Stadium. That's fine.
By the way, folks, that's going to be a big one. Brad, you're a big football fan. You follow it?
I am.
All right.
Season ticket holder to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh, tough night last night.
Let's not talk about that.
All right, we won't. All right. Hey, how about them Cowboys, right? That's all you had to see. That was a shocker to me. They played good, Dallas, for a change. I mean, I know you had some issues there last night. Looked like the Eagles were going to come back and win that one, and then, they didn't pull it off. And if anybody needed to win, though, I guess the Eagles are still a great team in my mind.
They both needed it pretty bad.
But I didn't see Dallas winning that game, and I'm sure you didn't either. So,
didn't anticipate
and Eagle fans can be pretty brutal, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you something. So anyways, that SU Notre Dame game is going to be a humdinger. 2:30 this coming Saturday, all right? Temperatures are going to be like mid-40ish, chance of rain. I just checked it out before I came on to do my show. And I was asking Jimmy, you think there's a chance that Mike Tirico, of course, he does so many assignments, worked out of Syracuse for many, many years, has blossomed himself up to the high rankings of a broadcaster. He does the Breeders' Cup. He does the Belmont and all that stuff. He does the Triple Crown.
Olympics.
You name it. Mike Tirico's there. I'm wondering if Mike Tirico, who has done some Notre Dame games, whether he'll be calling the play-by-play on Saturday. Notre Dame, Syracuse. Again, Syracuse, a 9.5-point underdog. And Jimmy says, I love those odds. So that's going to happen this coming weekend. And again, folks, the drama is, as Jim pointed out, there's no mistake about this. If Syracuse were to beat Notre Dame by a point or by 50, Notre Dame is out of there, meaning out of the playoff contention. That's even sweeter for Jim to see that happen, because Notre Dame would have zero chance of being in the top 4 with a loss to Syracuse. That's just not going to happen. Alabama has the luxury, and they're like a machine. Alabama has the luxury, I believe, of losing another game and still getting in the top 4. I truly believe that. Well, this is Weber This Week. Brad Zimmer is my special guest talking about parties at Del Lago. Are you in a mood for a party? Call 1-800-BRAD. We'll be back after we hear from our great sponsors. Lago Resort and Casino has something for everyone. 2,000 slot machines and 99 gaming tables. The Vine, featuring top national music and comedy acts. The dining options. The Great Portico by Fabio Viviani. The Farmers Market Buffet, the Social Cafe and Bar. And the 14,000 square foot European-style spa. Del Lago offers massages, body treatments, and facials, plus a full-service salon. Visit DelLagoResort.com for more information. Cayuga Lake National Bank, offices in Union Springs and Aurora, a fine sponsor of this show for over 30 years. DA Liquor on Britt Street in Seneca Falls. Amy Padula and her team will find the right spirit for you every time.
When you stop in, tell Amy the dog sent you. The Omen Theater on William Street in Lyons. See what's playing this week at omentheater.com. Located off New York State Thruway Exit 41, the McGee Diner has earned their reputation as a popular family restaurant, serving country fresh home-cooked meals daily. Stop in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and check out their menu at mcgeediner.com. The Child Advocacy Center of the Finger Lakes is a child-friendly location where allegations of physical or sexual abuse are responded to by a multidisciplinary team of professionals. The team works together to conduct a thorough investigation and to provide necessary support services to children and their non-offending caregivers with a goal of minimizing further trauma to a child. Seneca Metals is an award-winning company that has earned a reputation of going above and beyond to protect the environment and support their community. As an EPA inspector once said, their operation is head and shoulders above the rest. And the Newark Pilots of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, a minor league team with a major league ballpark. Season ticket packages available at newarkpilots.com. And the Wilson Press in Seneca Falls. My good pal Rich Rickey and his team can handle all of your printing and mailing needs. Visit them online at wpress.com.
Welcome back, everybody. It's good to be with you on a good old Monday. Getting a little nippy this week, but not too bad. So Brad Zimmer's my special guest. We'll get back to Brad in a couple of minutes. A couple of things I got to pass on to you. Seneca Metals, of course, has these wonderful events out at their educational center. We have plug another one. It's holiday appetizers with a Chef Morale. With the holidays right around the corner, this is a great time to learn how to make delicious canopies with Chef Merrill Moore of Stan's Restaurant up in Waterloo. That's going to be held on the 15th of November, which is this coming Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30. It's going to be at the Seneca Metals Educational Center, 1977 State Route 414 in Seneca Falls. It's $8 admission per person. It's a family adult program. Check that out. Compliments of Seneca Metals. Well, speaking of guests and so forth, we were talking about earlier, don't forget, next week we got a couple of great guests coming up in the next few weeks. We have Brad here today talking about parties at Del Lago and his team putting together a holiday party for you. If you're interested, come over and check it out. Make an appointment to see Brad and one of his people, and they'll give you a guided tour through all the facilities. Sit down with you, work out a very workable price, and you can enjoy the festivities at Del Lago. By the way, next week we're going to be on the Del Lago theme 2 weeks in a row. Next week we bring back a good friend who's a director of entertainment, Jason Klug, a good friend who's been on the show. I'm going to think, Jimmy, it's got to be a while back he's been on. He's going to come back as we approach the second year as of February 1st about the entertainment. A lot of the shows have been sold out, as you know.
Great shows.
A lot of great shows. A lot of the oldies but goodies. God, Larry the Cable Guy's been here a couple of times. He sold out 4 shows.
Absolutely.
People love that guy. So a lot of good entertainment coming up. We'll go through all of that. And by the way, we'll check on Jason to find out how the twins are doing. Of course, he already had a son, him and his wife, and his wife just had twins a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I loved Jason's comment, too, to me over Facebook saying, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Well, I guess you're right. And by the way, the following week, which will be the 26th, this is going to be a good, funny show if he shows up. As you all know, and Brad's not aware of this, is Seneca Falls. This is the town of Seneca Falls. The Huntington building, should it be torn down? Should it be detonated? Or should it stay there as an historical site? I believe it should be torn down. A lot of people do. And Circle K has made an offer to go in there to reconstruct and make a nice, beautiful convenience store / gas station on the corner of Fall Street, the Veterans Bridge, and Rumsey Street. Emil Bovey, my good friend, the attorney in Seneca Falls, who I've known Emil for many, many years, believes it should be retained as an historical building and not be torn down. So the great debate will take place on the 26th. Emil, if he has the nerve to show up, will be here to debate me on whether it should stay up or go down. I vote go down, he votes stay up. So that'll be coming up on the 26th. And then on the 3rd of December, we're even into December on bookings. Mike Wood will be here. Mike just got a job with the Watertown Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. Jimmy, I'm looking forward to that. Mike's done a great job. He's progressed himself, and now he's the coach. So we're looking forward to having Mike Wood, a local boy, that will be on the Weber Show coming up on December the 3rd. Well, Brad, let's go back to you for a minute now. After all, we talked about pricing. We talked about the facilities. We all know, because you and me are there all the time, and you're there more than I am. But, of course, there's a facility to host basically any event you want. Pretty much.
Pretty much, yes. Absolutely.
There's really not a whole lot of bars that you can possibly imagine. If you want to certainly have a party, and I'm reaching out to you, the viewer today, if you want to put on a nice party, I'll tell you what, Del Lago will do it with class, man, and I think you'll really have a good time, and I know Brad will make sure you have a good time and make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, because you know as well as I do, and my wife always says I'm anal, but I'm anal about details, and I think in your capacity, that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely.
It's details.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people want a certain thing set up, you want a certain microphone in that room so you can announce things. Yeah, everything has to be done right, and I'm sure you and your team get it done right.
Our sales team does a great job with the details,
That's
and
right.
We want to please all our guests because we
right.
want them to come back. It's an experience that they probably haven't had before, and once they do have a meeting with us,
Sure.
they're rebooking.
That's right. So that's the name of the game, and as Brad pointed out, a lot of the weekends are booked for parties. Correct.
Correct. Yes.
But during the week, there's opportunities.
Absolutely.
So there you go. So give a call. 315-946-1777. That's the general number, and ask for Brad Zimmer's organization. Just ask for his office, and he'll get you to someone that can take care of it, along with himself. Well, Brad, I appreciate you taking time out of a busy schedule, and I appreciate you coming in. And I wish that see you soon, and I wish that you guys have nothing but the best and the best success. And I know that Del Lago will come up with a first-class effort led by yourself.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
My pleasure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before I sign off, a few words about, sort of a little bit of sadness, but I thought I would spend a minute or so to say goodbye to a very good friend. Many of us have very close friends, and when they pass, it does hurt. I lost a great friend last Thursday named Gordy Heinzman, a.k.a. I gave him the nickname Gordle many, many, many years ago. I met him decades ago while we were both employed by Gould's Pumps. He's a big fan of the Virginia Tech Hokies and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Great family, who was madly in love with Gordy. Gordy was just a lot of fun to be around. We busted each other big time. We enjoyed our dinners every 4 to 6 weeks at the Deluxe Restaurant in Geneva. That was our favorite eating spot. He was funny, he was blunt, and like me, he had many opinions. I'm going to miss Gordy, but he is at peace. Rest in peace, my friend. Rest in peace. That's Weber This Week.